What's up, guys? What's up? Welcome to Juicy's channel, aka Djehutyyii's reading. This is part 2 for Cancer persona. Okay, so let's continue. Cancer, where did we leave this? Yeah, so cancers do have an amazing skin. Like, the skin is so soft, so uniform. Like, they have like a very smooth type of skin, very beautiful skin, very soft, clear, and uniform skin. Well done, cancers, well done. Amazing. God blessed you in that aspect. Okay. uh Also, cancers, you may see them on more on the natural side. Now, this depends, because there's some cancers that are extravagant. Okay, you have cancers that are over the top. All right, they will wear full beat face. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you also see that cancers are more on the natural side, more natural babe. Okay. um Yeah, so as I said, I'm not gonna say that they're not gonna wear makeup, but they look good without it as well. They have a very beautiful skin. I think themselves sometimes they think that they don't need it even. So they feel very comfortable in their skin, wearing their natural hair as well. Not gonna say that they don't wear weaves and stuff like that, but you know, they do feel comfortable on their natural side. Okay. Um, Oh, this one is a bit of a trigger warning. Okay, so Cancer energy reminds me there is this novella, right? Or TV show, I don't know. That is from back in the days. It's a Brazilian novella. And it's called the Slave Isaura. The lady's name is Isaura, and she was a slave, right? This is a long time. It's from a long time TV show, and Cancer energy reminds me of that for some reason, like a maid, right? Someone that takes care of the house, or someone that you know, it can be even in the more submissive side, right? Or someone that can be forced to do some stuff, right? It could be more passive as well. um yeah, it does remind me of that. I don't know, I had this download, but it actually kind of, because Cancer likes to take care of the house and all those kind of stuff, right? So like a maid, I mean, right? Nothing personal, just not, I'm not trying to violate them, but yeah, this is what I got, right? Also, if you saw my previous video, the end of my previous video, part one, I did mention things about sexual abuse and stuff like that. So we know that during that time, slavery and all of that, there was those kind of things happening. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, also cancers do dress very modesty. Okay, there is a modesty about cancer, right? So they will always look like presentable, not too provocative. It really depends as well. But for the most part, from what I've seen, they can have that little, how can I say, teasing, okay, when it comes to their dressing style, okay. However, it's not like, who can I say, some Aries, some Scorpio as well. I don't know, some Libras at times, like, trying to, you know, sorry, sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Do you understand? It's more like, good girl kind of dressing, okay. Not that they don't have the potential to, to wear very provocative clothes, okay, or outfits. They do, they can, okay. Some of them, as I said, Some are more extroverted. It depends on your birth chart. And also we have to remember that the next sign is Leo. So there is fire in there, okay? So you need to be aware of that. Right? Okay. Right. So I wrote this down, but anyway, so as I said, so those who have unresolved emotional baggage will be seeking for provocative attention. Okay, through their looks, by through their looks, meaning really provocative outfits. They also have a natural sex appeal and innocent look. Okay, so even though they might look like, very provocative and calling, ruling, no, is it not ruling, luring people in, you know there is still that innocent look. Okay, but the sex appeal is still there. I think the sex appeal is in the innocent, and then the sexiness. Cancers are quite sexy. Not homo, but I know how to, I'm quite good at observing people, right? Ooh, okay, and that leads me to my next point. So, with that being said, so the innocent look, don't be fooled by Cancer's innocent look, because you in your mind, if you think that Cancer cannot dominate you in bed, you are completely wrong. You are in for a rude awakening, because Cancer will dominate you in bed. Oh yes, baby. That's something that people might not get at first glance. Okay, unless you have a few experiences, but Cancer will definitely do the doing things, okay, in between four walls. Okay, so be careful, don't let that innocent look like, oh, the good girl, oh, she's so innocent, yeah, 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 pretty much like Pisces. Okay, so guys, I'm just letting you know. Okay, and you would never, you would never tell, unless obviously she's wearing something provocative or something like that, but on a normal basis, no. Now let's move to the Cancer man, right? Even though most of the things that I've said apply to the Cancer man too, okay, especially in my previous video. So now, on a more low vibration energy, okay, not per se that Cancer, the man is low vibration, but the behavior I'm talking about. Okay, so the Cancer man can be gossipy, okay, very gossipy, emotionally manipulative, and a man that will spill the beans once they have been with you. Okay, also he's funny, and as I said in my previous video, part one, they are built very well, very attractive men as well. The only thing is that he talks like a woman, literally. Cancer men, they will do the gossip. Okay, gossip girl, that is Cancer man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I know that might be hurting your feelings, Cancer. I'm really sorry, but I have to. This is a channel to tell the truth. Okay, so yeah, don't feel offended. This is just an observation, Cancer. Okay, don't feel offended. Right. I'm just doing my work. This is the God's work. Okay. So I told you already. Okay. So Cancer men are gossipy. There will be women business, men business, animal business. Who else? I don't know. In everybody's business, he is there, and he's gonna spill the beans as well, like a proper woman, right? And that brings me back to the Three of Cups card. If they do have Mercury in Cancer in the reverse, then this is the energy, okay? And this goes both for the men and the women, okay? The women as well like to gossip. They like to talk about people's lives. Oh, she's doing this. oh no, she was with this, she was with that, she's doing this now, her mom is doing this, her dad is doing this, her child is doing. They like that kind of shit. Okay, so be mindful. Okay, so if they have Mercury, so because of the Mercury energy, we do have what's it called, the information. Now it is in the sign of, so Mercury is both information and socialization. Okay, so mixed up with emotions and all of that, and manipulation because of the emotions and all of that. That could be also an in manipulation in information. Okay, because Mercury is underwater or in water. Okay, so there could be a blurred, you know, vision or blurred speech. Okay, but there's some illusions involved with the speech as well. Okay, so just to add that. What else? Another thing that I've noticed about cancers, and this is regardless of their sex, whether masculine or feminine, um, they do have a round face. Okay, usually cancers do have a round face, and the men, I've noticed men have round faces. The women as well, and the women I've noticed that they have like Betty Boop. I call them Betty Boop eyes. Okay, like round eyes, very cute. Very dreamy. Like they look like a doll. They look like a doll. That's for some, because you have to remember that moon has different phases and different shapes. Okay, some of them might have like a crescent moon type of shape, facial feature. Okay, and the eyes might be a bit smaller as well, so it really depends as well. Okay. um right. So the skin tone can be very specific, or did I write that? The skin tone can be very specific or obvious. Okay, yeah. So I said it can be very specific and obvious because I've seen it many times. So to me, it can be obvious. Okay. So it can be very specific or obvious. It can vary as well and go from the sandish tone, right, to orange undertones, to caramelish undertones or tone, to dark black skin tones. Okay. So I've noticed that cancer, people that have strong cancer energy, I've noticed that they do have um, the sand color or caramel color skin tone, okay, or orangey undertones on their skin. And this is something that I really noticed. Okay, you have others that might be a bit darker because there could be like black. You have, what's it called? What's the animal called now? Crab. So you have the crab that is, you have orange crab, not orange, but when you cook, they look orange anyway. So you have the orange crab, and then you have there's black crabs as well. I've seen. Okay, and that's the colors. All right. I would say that those that are that have the darker skin tone, there could be an influence of Scorpio in there. Okay, Pluto, but also Capricorn as well gives you a darker complexion. Okay. Um, what else? I was about to say something quickly. Putain. I was about to say something that is also equally important. So yeah, so the moon, yeah, because the moon, no, the mud is dark, isn't it? So that also, I apply that to the skin tone of Cancer, okay? But I know I was going to say something else, but anyway. Yeah, so the sand colors and the mud colors, okay, they do play a role as significators of this phenomenon, okay. They can also have a pale skin for the Caucasians. They can have a more pale skin. You can see the moon. The moon is like it's like a creaming. I wouldn't say white. It can be white, but I would say cream. That's the color. If I was about to give each sign a color, the sign for Cancer, I would say would be pastel colors, okay, and cream as well. Beige. Right. Let's see. White, obviously, but white is Jupiter anyway. But anyway, we move. Um. So now, in my perspective, I would associate Cancer with the. Now, this is the issue. I knew that I had to put this word to look for the translation of this word for English translation, but I still wrote it in another language. Now, what the heck is this? Oh, God. I'm going to try to explain, guys. You help me in the comments, okay? Now, this thing stays in water, obviously. You can find it at the beach. And it's something that opens like this. You know where the pearl stays? Like that thing that opens? Okay? Shell. Is it a shell? Is it a shell? Well, I mean, I think it's is it a shell? Whatever. I'm going to use the word shell for now. Seashell? Is it seashell? You let me know in the comments. I can't remember. Anyway, but in another language, it's concha. Okay? So, that has, yeah, the pearl inside. Okay, so in my perspective, I associate Cancer sign. Instead of being with the crab, I would associate it with the seashell. Okay? Also, the stone that's inside represents the moon, okay? And therefore, Cancer is the pearl, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so yeah. So I think the pearl is attributed to Cancer. You know, each sign has their own stone, right? And I would say that Cancer is the pearl, okay? I believe it is. The reason why I would attribute this molluscule, is it molluscule? Correct me if I'm wrong in this word. Molluscule to Cancer is because the stone comes from, okay, so the way the pearl comes to be, right, is from pressure, irritation. Okay, this molluscule or whatever the name is feels irritation because I think of the sand and all of that, those kind of stuff, and then after the irritation it becomes a pearl. Okay, I believe that's the process. Okay, and I think that symbolizes Cancer, to say the least. Okay, and also at the same time the maturing of the emotions. Okay, I will attribute that to the maturity of the emotions, right? And this phenomenon are happening through pressure, okay, and setbacks that Cancer goes through regularly. Okay, also the shell is hard, but inside of the seashell, the molluscule thing, it is very soft and sensitive. Okay, so it's a beautiful representation for Cancer, I believe, in my perspective. Okay, I believe, because Cancer is both soft and hard because you have earth and water. Okay, and at first glance, I did mention in my previous video that, so with Cancer, it fluctuates. Okay, so in my very first video in my tarot reading cards channel, I did do a video as well about each sign and their persona, and I did mention that Cancer is not the crybaby that people think that Cancer is, because Cancer, the first impression I might get is the sensitivity, the calm exterior and everything. But then if you go back, if you go, that's the first house. And then if you go to the seventh house, you're going to see that you're going to find Capricorn. Or you don't need to go to the seventh house. You're just going to see that the opposite polarity of Cancer is Capricorn. So you first get, you encounter the water and it seems very, sensitive and everything and fluid and everything. And then boom, you get when you push the sign enough, you're going to see that there is resilience in there. You're going to see that there is strong backbone in Cancer. Okay, so but it's not something that will come for you, it will be shown to you at first glance. Okay, and then but with the seashell is actually the opposite. Okay, you first encounter the thingy. It works both ways. You first encounter the shell and then the softer side inside and then the pearl. But if you want, I could say that you encounter the soft side and then the irritation comes and then you see the pearl. Whatever. I know I'm making a Russian salad in here mixed up. But I think you guys get what I mean, right? So I would attribute this to Cancer. Just because of the phenomenon, how things happen, how the pearl comes to be, the sensitivity mixed up with the resilience and everything, it creates something very beautiful. Okay, and it also translates into emotional maturity, in my perspective. Okay, moving on. Yeah. So now, yes, still in there. So as I did mention Capricorn and the fact that Cancer goes through a lot of pressure as well in order to mature their emotions. So you have Saturn, right? So Saturn is the one that will test you and will, bring you, important lessons in your life as well and plays with your karma and all of that. But then at the end of the day, it's something beautiful that comes out of it if you know how to recognize the what's it called, the lessons, isn't it? Well, I mean, Capricorn will not give you the chance to think that, oh, if you will definitely, you will, whether you want it or not. So that's the thing. That's the same thing with the seashell, right? So it will bring you that beautiful, what's it called, result at the end. Okay. So yeah, so it brings you that endurance. Okay, the test about your endurance, and then in the end, it's a rewarding kind of situation. Okay, therefore the Queen of Cups. Okay, so now we're going back to the tarot. So with the Queen of Cups now, which is represented by Cancer as well, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You have the maturing of the emotions in there. Okay, the Queen of Cups upwards, not in the reverse. Okay, you have the maturing of the emotions. And then if you see the tarot cards, the Rider's deck tarot cards, you're going to see that the Queen of Cups is sat down on a throne. And the throne is made of stone. Okay, so meaning that there is stability. There's something stable there. Okay, she's sitting on her stability, right? And also her feet, I think she's barefoot or bare feet on the beach. She's on the beach, and then the throne is on the, what's it called? It's on the sand, right? And there's little stones as well. But I think she's not wearing shoes. Correct me if I'm wrong. So also I'll see that sensitivity touching the stones represents the maturity. Okay, the maturity when it comes to emotional aspects. All right. Right. And then for in terms of placements, if you have Mercury in Cancer conjunct Venus in Cancer, this is a placement that can give you emotional intelligence, which is represented. That could be the translation of the Queen of Cups. Okay, the conjunction here between Mercury, the mind, and Venus, the emotions and all of that. Okay, so you have a basically someone that is emotionally intelligent, and this is where the symbolical balance between the mind and the emotions, where they can coexist without overtaking each other, basically. So this phenomenon can be possible to coexist through what we call the intuition, okay? Because the Queen of Cups is very intuitive, as well as the star sign Cancer, or people that vibrate in this energy, okay? You feel something that you don't have the words to explain, yet the feeling have already known the answer to whatever it is, okay? However, it sends a signal to your brain to inform that something is about to happen and that it should be in alert mode, okay? At the same time, it also sends a signal that nothing can be really done, as it has already happened, because the heart, the intuition already felt it or experienced it, okay? There's also different levels when it comes to the intuition and the types of intuition, okay? So basically, in other words, it means that your intuition, when I said that, it sends you a message that something already happening, there's nothing that you can do about. In some way, it's true, because the intuition is something that is alerting you. Is feeling something that is about to happen, but he's telling you that the feeling that you're feeling is because something has already happened. I don't know if that's making sense. So your intuition is already in the future. So he's feeling what is warning you, what you are about to feel. Okay, whether good, whether bad. If that makes sense, okay? So it's the sixth sense. So you already, your emotions are already seeing something. It's just that the mind needs to make logic of it. So I felt something, but I haven't experienced it yet in my mind, okay? But now, when that happens, because my heart already felt it, my heart already experienced it, so when it happens now, my mind will make sense of it. And now we are in connection. Now I understand what it is, okay? Now I know what it is, and that's the emotional intelligence. And then also, when it happens enough times, then you become more aware of it and more in tune with it, right? So now you may not react the same way that you would have reacted in the first time, at the first time that happened. I don't know if I'm making sense. Hopefully I'm making sense. So now your emotions are more balanced, and you are in accordance with your intuition, and none of the, everything is in balance, basically. Right, moving on. Yeah, so the Queen of Cups has this type of wisdom within her. This is why she is considered to be intuitive too, okay? The balancing of the emotions is represented by the feet that she's seated, by the feet, by the fact that she's seated on a throne, or she sat on a throne, on a stone throne, right? Represented also by Capricorn, but her bare feet do not touch the sand. Do not touch the sand? I don't know. Whatever that thing is. Anyway, she's on a beach, which is presented by the beginning. Okay, so yeah, another thing as well, in the tarot cards, you're going to see that the Queen of Cups is sat. The throne is at the beginning of the beach. Okay, the what's it called? At the border of the beach, right? So that is also a representation of Cancer. Okay, so Cancer represents also the beginning, the border of the beach. Okay, where the waves foam, yeah, where you get the white foam from the waves, right? So that is also representation of Cancer. All right, so whilst Scorpio and Pisces do represent deeper levels of the sea, right? But Cancer is at the beginning here. Okay, that is also representation, that is also symbolic of the placement of the Queen of Cups in the tarot cards. Okay, and then you have, yeah, that's where the sea meets the sand as well. At the beginning, not that there's not sand at the bottom of the sea, obviously, but Yeah, so Cancer also represents the calm seas, calm waters, okay, of Yemaya, okay, the Yoruba deity, okay, the primordial mother, okay. She also rules the surface of the sea and rivers, whilst her brother, or in some mythologies, that's her counterpart, Olokun, is in the deepest, darkest parts of the sea, okay. The Cancer woman can also be sorry, I didn't warn you. So if you watch part one, you're gonna see that I'm doing it's a freestyle. My downloads are freestyle. So I jump from one side to the other, and then yeah, so that's how I receive my downloads. So bear with me, okay? So I did previously mention that the Cancer man are gossipers. The Cancer women are also gossipers and can be gossipers. Okay, moving on from from the you know the deities and etc. Especially if they have afflictions to their Mercury. Did I say Mercury? Mercury in Gemini? No, I didn't mean to write Mercury in Gemini. Mercury in Cancer placements, or at least be involved in gossip. They can also be involved in gossip by others or a social group. Okay, since they work behind the scenes, this can be rather unnoticed, but can cause great damage and trust issues once the truth resurfaces. Okay. On a different note, the moon or the sign of Cancer can also symbolically be represented or associated with the camel. Okay, so now we are moving slowly to another topic. I'm sorry, guys. So we are moving on. We are almost done because I've got about 10 minutes left. So and I still have a lot to do. Cancer. Look at this. Look at this, Cancer. Look at this. This is all you. This is all you, Cancer. This is all you. This is all you, Cancer. This is all you. And I've done these two already. Okay, Cancer. This is all you. So probably I'm gonna have to do part 3, 4. Anyway. So continuing. What was I going to say? On a different note. I'm lost now. Okay, so yeah, so as I said, this is going to be like a full description, okay, an overall description of the sign, okay, because these were the downloads I was getting for Cancer, right? So on a different note, Cancer can be represented or associated with chamomile herb, okay, or flower, okay. It is well known to have calming agents that will relax or calm your nervous system or even your emotional system, okay. White roses are also considered to be associated with the moon, even though I think roses are more Libra-ish, okay, Venus. In okay, now this is in my own perspective, more what's it called, because the chamomile is more predictable that okay, this will be attributed to Cancer because it's well known for calming down and relaxing and all of that. But now this other one is not so obvious. Sorry, it's not so obvious in my personal perspective. I've added that the baobab tree. So some people don't know what's a baobab tree. You can simply research it. You're gonna find it on Google. So it's a very massive tree. Like we say that it's the mother of trees in Africa, right? And this, I think that this baobab tree it also symbolically represents Cancer. It will be attributed, in my perspective, it will be attributed to. I would attribute it to Cancer, okay, and to the moon, okay, because of its spiritual significance and the fact that it has great. Hold on. It has great capacity to hold water inside. Okay, I know that baobab is not the only tree that can hold water inside, but baobab is well known for that. Okay, as well, and this mystical capacities as well. This tree is extremely mystical. Okay, extremely mystical, and a lot of people, unless you are initiated or anything like that, you would know, what's going on around this tree, okay, and that's all I'm gonna say, okay. Another tree that I would also, in my perspective, attribute to the moon and therefore Cancer, it is a calabash tree. The calabash tree. Oh, also back to baobab. So the fruit of the baobab fruit is also white, right? And it's kind of dry as well. It's very interesting. And then in the end, when you finish eating it or sucking it, because you usually suck it, you can make drinks, you can make a lot of stuff with it. You have like what's the name now? She I can't remember the name, but we say caroço inside in it. So it's a seed, like the seed inside, right? So it's like brownish color. Um, it's quite interesting now that I'm thinking, because why, the pearl, all of that. So yeah, so another tree that I would also, in my perspective, attribute to the moon and therefore Cancer is a calabash tree. I don't know if some of you know the calabash tree. Just go and research. And some is a tree that is very known in Africa and also in parts of Asia and South America as well. Okay. Um, this tree's fruit is, in my perspective, one of the nature's embodiment of the High Priestess card, okay, which represents Cancer too, and the Moon card as well, okay. Uh, Represents Cancer too. Okay, Cancers are usually the ones you keep. Okay, so Cancers are usually the ones who keep the family. Cancers are usually the ones that keep. Hold on, that keep the family's past knowledge, or it is handed to them. Okay, anything that concerns memories of the past, Cancer must have them. Okay, physical, such as photos, albums, DVDs, cassette, what's it called, vinyl, etc., etc. Okay, emotional, mental, and most importantly, spiritual, and also hidden and at times knowledge that is considered to be a taboo to the outworld. Okay, so yeah, so Cancers are rule the past. Okay, I think that some of you might know this already. So memory and all of that. So yeah, so they will be in charge of, like the High Priestess, basically. She's in charge of the secrecy of the secrets. Okay. Cancers can also be associated with trigger warning, trigger warning. Okay, so Cancers can also be associated with incest, okay, alongside Pisces, because like everything else in the world, there is good and bad, and obviously with Cancer it could not be different, because there is one side of the moon that nobody can see. Moon card and the path between the twin pillars. So in a moon card, you're going to see a twin pillar, and then you're going to see a path, right? The moon card and the path between the twin pillars that represent Gemini, actually the duality, but also can be found in the High Priestess card behind her. So behind the High Priestess card, for those of you that have seen the Rider's deck tarot card, behind her there is two pillars of which symbolizes the what's it called, the twins, the Gemini, but also due to mythology, which we can get into that when we get to Gemini. I think I may have wrote it somewhere here, but yeah, but also the secret path. Okay. What's it called? That represent Gemini, but also can be found in High Priestess, representing the path of obscurity, uncertainty, illusions, where things are inverted, where the darker nature is the result. Is the what? Is the right way, where the darker nature is the right way of life. The opposite of the sun, where things are exposed. Okay, Cancer also symbolizes the rites of passage, the ceremonies, along with Scorpio and Pisces, the tradition, the cult, what the ancestors left for the next generation to continue. Cancer represents the pride in who you are and where you came from your roots, basically. So Cancer represents the traditional clothes that each culture wears. They are made with a specific purpose for a specific reason. Okay, this leads. I'm talking about spiritual clothes. Okay, from each culture. Okay. This leads me to the fact that cancers can very much be in fashion industry as well. They like to dress up and look good. Some of them, okay. They like perfumes too, like Pisces. Okay, back to the calabash tree. There is usually I need to check the time. I have 10 minutes literally now. So there is usually a sort of wooden spoon that is used in rituals alongside the calabash fruit when it has been activated spiritually. Okay, so the calabash fruit is like, it looks like a moon, basically, literally. Okay, and it's used for different things in Africa. I'm saying Africa because that's where I come from and that's where I've seen it and experienced it, right? So, what's it called? Yeah, you could use it for what's it called? Day-to-day use in the kitchen and stuff like that. Okay, but you can also, there's a spiritual aspect of it as well. Okay, first the fruit comes as a wooden hard shell, like a round, right? And then there's specific people that will cut it in two halves, right? And then they will work it out. And then I have one there, but I can't go there now because I'm already sitting here. But probably in my next video, I'm gonna try to put it in the video. Okay. So yeah, so you have, it can be worked out, and then polished and do all this kind of stuff. And then when it's used for spiritual means, it can be also activated spiritually. Okay, and that has the shape of a full moon. No, sorry. It's used to rituals alongside the calabash fruit, which has been activated spiritually. That has the shape of a soup spoon. Okay, the one that you get. Okay, so you know the spoon that you get to get the soup out of the pot, right? The long one that has the long handle. Yeah, yeah. Not the one that you eat with, but the one that has the long vertical handle, right? So this one is made. So you have the calabash and then you have like a wooden spoon, but looks like the spoon that you eat with, but the circumference of the spoon is deeper, is longer. You know, that part like is like this basically, right? So it's a wooden spoon that is used with the calabash for spiritual means. Okay, and this is used as well for libations. Okay, so this is, I don't know if you've seen any pictures or any videos of people doing libations in Africa, and they use that spoon to do libations. Okay, in my country we call it kama. Okay, anyway, the shape of it is similar to a half moon spoon. Likewise, the calabash, once it has been cut in half, but it can also be covered with the other half, which will then resemble a full moon or a globe. Okay, the wooden half moon calabash spoon karma is used by high priestess alongside the calabash for libations, which carry water or any other form of spiritual mixed herbs, etc. Okay, both objects remind me of a womb, which is also represented by the Cancer sign, and there is a lot of mystery surrounding the womb in the African spirituality, which I might not speak about. This knowledge, might not speak about this knowledge for another, or might save this knowledge for another time, and vibration and frequency. Okay, let me hurry up. Cancer also represents, what is this? Oh, Kalima. Okay, so Cancer represents Kalima from the Hindu mythology. Okay, and I see strong connections with the darker side of the Cancer energy and the devil, the opposite polarity. Okay, as well as the moon and the high priestess. Okay, connected to Cancer. Cancer is also another. I said winch. So Cancer is another winch. Okay, pretty much like every other woman, but as being the primordial mother, Gaia, she goes by different names. Okay, so there's Demeter, and then which is her daughter that later became Ceres or Ceres. And she adopted the Cancerian nature, nurturing virtues of her mother. Cancer also deals with healing, obviously, um, and then what? Caring for sick people, like Virgo. Sorry, guys, I'm rushing a little bit. Um, you can find cancers in the health sector, such as nurses, pediatry, whatever this name is, the ones that take care of children, um, doctors, etc., as well as Capricorns as well. Capricorns are usually found as well in the medical field or in care homes, taking care of older people. Since Capricorn Saturn, the opposite sign, rules older, mature people and older age. Okay, this leads me to the fact that Cancer has a link with matters of life and death. Okay, so Kalima can be referenced in here. The varying of her children or husbands, etc. Which is one of the hidden aspects of the moon. When I mentioned that Cancer deals with matters of life and death, the care home is for older people, right? So meaning that they are closer to death than to be alive, right? And also pediatry is for children. So, you understand the memo, yeah? Which is one of the hidden aspects of the moon, the malefic side of it, Saturn. Okay, back to incest. Since in mythology, Gaia married Uranus. Okay, this is a lot of stuff that I've put here, and I might need to go back to this one after. Okay, to I'll do this one for part 3. Okay, I'm going to do this one for part 3 because I'm almost running out of time as well, and this one will take more time to explain and to go into depth. Sorry guys if I seem to be rushing a little bit. It's because I've been talking for quite a while. Okay, about an hour now, and it becomes a bit tiring. Okay, and also because I want to make sure I do it, because then I don't have time or I don't feel like doing the video. And now that I'm in the mood to do the video, sometimes I want to just get it done and then move to the next. But I can see that with Cancer, it's asking me to be more patient, and I'm gonna have to be more patient because I'm gonna have to do part 3 and part 4, probably part 5 in another day, because I don't have enough storage in my phone, which means that I'm gonna have to upload this video and the previous one first and then delete it and then get the storage, and then only then I'll be able to do the reading and then time as well, because life and etc. Okay, so with that being said, this is part 2, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Go and check part 1. Okay, and this was a freestyle. Okay, as I said, when I get downloads, things come in all sorts of ways. Okay, I don't pick and choose. When I get it, I write it down regardless, and then I don't have time to be going back and then compartmentalize it. Oh, this is this, this is that, this is that. I'll just do it as it comes, and it also brings some more raw energy and more more down to earth kind of video, basically, not really being focused on perfectionism or this has to look a certain way. As it comes is as it comes out. Okay, it's also part of the experience. Okay, right guys, so with that being said, I will soon do part 3, part 4, and the end of it, and then I'll move into the next sign within due time. Just be patient, guys. This is a channel that we're looking towards long term. Okay, and good things take time, right? So just be patient with me. I might not be posting every single day because that's not how I function, and therefore if you really want to learn and be here with me to grow this channel, you need to be patient. Okay, right. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments, if anything. Let me know in the comments, okay, your opinion. How do you see the descriptions and the persona and everything, all the 9 yards. And if you want personal reading, also I'm going to leave the link down below. I do personal tarot readings, and for tarot readings also that I've already done are in my other channel, It's in my bio. I can also add in the description box below, Djehutyii readings, and you can check there all the information that I need. It's been a while since I've done a tarot reading, but the information that is already there can be quite useful for some of you, okay? So yes, okay guys, I'll see you in my next reading, okay? Oh, teaching, I mean. Take care.